All right, everybody. So thank you guys for joining us tonight for this special edition of the Team Destination U call. This is exclusively for lifetime diamonds and star diamonds, anybody above diamond, because you guys are really leaders of the team. And we really, I wanted to, Matt wanted to, that was Matt, bring you a special call so that, especially at the beginning of the year, so that you can really get in touch with what this year could potentially bring for you when you really hone in on your potential as a leader. It's one thing for me to hit elite because it's not me. I always say this, it's not me, it's the team. And you guys always come back and you say, yeah, but you lead us as a team and it's you. But really it's you guys and it's the work that you guys do. And as much as I love having that title for us, I want you guys to be able to experience what that's all about as individuals, as individual leaders within Team Destination U. You all have your own teams within this one. And I really want you to bring that home, that title home to your team. Not only for them, but for you as their leader. And so that starts with making more diamonds under you, not, cultivating those diamonds under you, becoming stronger as a leader yourself first, and then doing that for your downline. So I really wanted to get Mr. Mathewson on the phone tonight with us, Jeff, and have him talk to you all about what that looks like within Beachbody leadership, the leadership ladder, elite, and what that really means. And so I'm going to have him talk to you. Jeff, could you just give me what your title is again? I know that you're the Northeast region something.
The Northeast region dude. That's what I am. No, so guys, I'm the senior sales manager over the Northeast region in the U.S. So basically anywhere from D.C. up to the Canadian border in Maine. Basically, I oversee all the operations, sales, marketing, coaches in the Northeast. So that's what I do. I was up in Canada for an entire year, north of the border, for Beachbody, working the Canadian market. And then for some reason they said, hey, your French is so good, we're going to put you in the Northeast region now. So I'm still working on my Boston accent, my New York accent a little bit. I'll get there. Okay, I promise. I know that people in Boston say coffee like Kathy, right?
I live in Massachusetts, and we don't do that. We say wicked.
Okay. Yeah, it's wicked awesome.
Yeah, wicked awesome. And we have a lot of New Yorkers on the call.
Yes, I love New York. So
they have a serious accent, but take it away, Jeff. Thank you.
Okay, awesome, guys. So that's what I do. So basically myself, and we have two other members of the team over the Northeast, Jeff Pearson, who I know some of you know, and then our new associate manager, Lacey Larson. And when, Melissa kind of asked me tonight to be on the call, I was pretty stoked, guys, because I've heard a lot about this team. I've seen several of your names, whether it's in reports, good reports, trust me, or on Facebook. We kind of stalk you here at corporate, right? And I've seen a lot of the success that you're having. So I was pretty excited to jump on the call. I won't take a ton of your time because I know, some of you are taking time away from family, jobs, coaching to be on the call. But I want to make sure that we get you some value tonight as well. So hopefully, as I ramble on a little bit, you guys can take something away that you can apply, whether it's in your own coaching business or with your teams, that's useful. I do want to encourage you, though, if you do have questions or comments as we're going through some of this stuff, feel free to unmute yourselves and say, hey, Jeff, I got this question, or in the chat box, which I'll open now. Now, when I share my screen, it's hard for me to see. So, Melissa, you may have to kind of help me see if some questions come in there and just kind of interrupt me, say, hey, we got a question. But I do have a presentation I want to share with you guys. I'm not going to share the entire thing because we've got a group of awesome leaders on here, diamonds and above, learning how to grow diamonds, duplicate that in our teams, but also how to solidify our diamond rank or 1-star or 2-star, whatever we're at, right? And so I actually just want to share a couple of ways that we can elevate our leadership. Because when Melissa was talking with me about, man, how can we really establish leadership? How can we solidify our rank or our coaches? In my opinion, guys, from what I've seen and working with top coaches in Canada, now in the Northeast and across, the central region as well, it sounds simple. It's not, but it is simple. Okay. And I'm going to share kind of a threefold approach of how you can elevate your leadership and work towards solidifying those individuals, right? But the first thing I would say is that you've got to start with yourself. You got to work from the inside out. What I mean by that is If you don't have goals, if you can't solidify your own rank, and it's okay if you can't, like, it's a hard deal. I get that. It's not easy, but you've got to start with yourself and lead out, right? Speed of the leader is the speed of the pack. You've heard that a bunch, right? That's the first thing. But I'm going to share a couple things with you right now. So let me share my screen, see if I'm smart with technology or not. And if my little girl comes running into the room, you guys will get to meet the youngest coach on my team. So we'll see if she pops in or not. Let's see here. All right, can you guys see this little PowerPoint? Get a thumbs up. Awesome. And I will send this to you, Melissa. If there's a team page, I can put it in there too if you want to add me to it. And that way you guys can have these notes. If you want to, you're probably like, I don't want these. That's ridiculous. And I'm so sorry that there's a duplicate of me behind me, but it's a quiet place in the house. So for those in the Northeast, is anyone in here not in the Northeast region? I think almost everyone is.
Yeah, I think everyone on here right now is that I can.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Okay, so this slide's for you. If you're not, you do have some corporate contacts in your region that can help you. But I want to let you know about the resources available to you to help you solidify, help you grow, and help your team. In the Northeast, we have myself. So I'm over the entire Northeast. I work with primarily our 6-star to 15-star diamonds. But seriously, you guys, you can reach out to me at any time. It doesn't matter what your rank is. I could care less. Sorry, Melissa, I could care less about your rank. I just think you're a cool person. We have Jeff Pearson, who works with our 3 to 5-star diamond coaches, and then our new associate manager, Lacey Larson, works with our diamonds to 2 stars. Now, if you're not a diamond yet and you happen to listen to this call or watch the recording, still reach out to us. We still want to work with you. But if you have that lifetime rank, guys, and you're not in contact with Lacey, Jeff, or myself, get in contact. We can get you on mastermind calls. We can get you in trainings if you want. Or we can help you out with anything you need. And those are our actual Facebook handle names. They're on the screen now. So if you try to find us, go connect with us. We'd love to connect with you as well. In the Northeast as well, we have some tools to help you elevate your leadership. We have our Leadership Academy calls, which is a bi-weekly training. We have a top leader come on and share some of their top tips and strategies. Last week, we had Emily Robidas, who is the 3-time Team Cup champion, that shared Team Cup tips, and that recording's on the Northeast Diamond Connection page and the Region Leader page. This next Tuesday, which is the 9th, we'll have number 8 coach in the network, Alyssa Shoemaker, who's going to come on and share ways that she's been able to expand her network and expand her warm market and help also build sustainable leaders. So that should be a really good training next week. We'll have something called a Northeast Power Hour. You may have seen those. We've done 2 already, where we'll have a top leader come on. This is going to be about once every 6 weeks, but where they'll come on and walk everybody through how to do a power hour, and everybody on the call does a power hour themselves. It's pretty cool. It's builds a lot of belief and momentum, which is a good thing, right? We're going to have what's called an open call, which is basically you have free reign, free control over mine and Pearson and Lacey's schedules. You can come and sign up with your team or for a one-on-one or for a half hour, 45-minute time slot during a day, and you have access to us no matter what your rank is, right? And then obviously we'll have some other mastermind calls. So get connected with us, guys. I just want to share that with you so you know, hey, we're here for you. We want to support you as you solidify those diamonds and you elevate your leadership, okay? So how do we elevate our leadership? How do we solidify our own rank and our own coaches? I think it's a threefold approach. And if I'm off on this, like seriously, message me after this call and be like, Jeff, you're an idiot. That doesn't make sense. I think it's this. I'm cool with that. This is what I've seen though, okay? And as we go through these guys, I'm going to cover it kind of high level, but at the same time, really think, how can I apply this to me? We're starting from the inside out, okay? Once you can establish it within yourself, think, how can I apply this to my leaders? How can I apply this to my diamonds? How can I apply this to my team? Okay, because it's going to be different for everybody. Because if I just give a specific recommendation, it may work great for Kelly, but for Bridget, it may kind of work, or for Kristen, maybe it's not going to work at all. You've got to find ways to apply it to yourself and your own team, right? So the first one is make sure you have a vision and you set goals. Duh, you guys are great at that. You're coaches. We all have our why, right? Or we have a resolution for 2016 or a goal with hammer and chisel, whatever it may be. And that's important. But it's one thing to just think about it. It's another thing to set goals and plan it and get it on paper, right? So I'm going to talk about that here in a sec. Second, you got to have a way to track and measure your success. Okay, track and measure how you're solidifying those diamonds, how you are growing your leaders. Because if not, guys, you got a lot going on up here, and there's a lot to remember, both as a spouse, maybe a mom or father, as a coach, as maybe you're working full-time at another job. There's a lot to remember. If you can get it on paper, on a board, on your phone, somewhere where it's visible. It really, really makes a difference. Then the last one I'll share is the importance of establishing your creed. Okay. You're probably like, what the heck does it mean by that? I'll explain. Okay. So I don't think there's any questions yet. I can't see the chat. The chat's not, okay, we're good. Yeah, I can see it. It's not showing up on the share screen. So you guys can see the whole PowerPoint, I think, right now. So here's something I want to share with creating goals and elevating yourself as a leader. Okay. This is huge in terms of figuring out a way to work from within and help your other coaches solidify, their rank and where they're at as a coach. And it comes back to a presentation we saw at leadership. And I think Melissa was there. I wasn't in the Northeast yet, but Melissa was at this event. And I love this presentation from our keynote speaker. And I'm going to preface this by saying if there are any librarians on the call, or if you know of a librarian, I'm not trying to offend you. This is just what I thought at the time. Susan O'Malley was our keynote speaker. And when she came out, I'm like, why do we have, she's 5'0", really just humble, down to earth, look like a librarian. Again, no offense. I prefaced it. Okay. And I'm like, wait, she's coming to train like our top leaders, like Melanie Mitro and Miguel Carrasco and Chris Reed, like all these guys, like, we really missed this one. But I'll tell you what, guys, and there were other people in the room, I think, that were probably thinking the same thing. I'll tell you what, 2 or 3 minutes in, she had Melanie Mitro, she had Miguel Carrasco, she had Chris Reed, she had me, she had Jeff Hill taking notes just as quick as we could. She was so on point. She's like the coolest librarian ever. She's not a librarian. She is actually the first female president of a professional sports organization. She was the president of the Washington Wizards basketball team in the NBA, and then the Washington Capitals hockey team. First woman to ever do that. And she came and shared her 7 rules of leadership, how she was able to elevate herself first, not in a way to be prideful, but how she was able to work from within and then work with her team to help them solidify their goals and elevate themselves. And she shared it through this concept of 7 rules of leadership. And sorry, Melissa, you've heard these before, but repetition is the mother of all teaching tools. Repetition is the mother of all teaching tools. You see what I did there? Cool effect, right? But I want to share these with you guys. And again, I don't have a perfect recipe for success for you, how to hold your diamonds, how to hold your rank, how to help your coaches advance to that. I mean, we should know how to do that. If not, that's great personal development. Figure out, okay, what are the exact requirements to be there? But these leadership tips, I think they're key in doing that. Okay. And I'm going to expound on them a little bit, but the first one she shares is this. Number 1, make your bed every day. Melissa's getting all these fun memories of leadership coming back as I share these, right? She means this both literally and figuratively. Literally in the sense of when you wake up in the morning, you tuck in the pillows, you tuck in the sheets, make your bed all nice. Because when you go out and you have the worst day ever, you get people telling you no, you get challengers falling off, you get coaches that quit, you go to your full-time job and it maybe doesn't go as planned or you don't meet a goal. At least at the end of the day, you can come to a nice, warm made bed. And that makes you feel pretty dang good. But here's what she said too. Figuratively, you need to be able to do this as a coach. Okay, we're looking at how we apply these as a coach and a leader. How are you making your bed every day? Meaning, how are you doing the essentials? Okay, how in the world are you going to be able to be innovative, creative, solidify your star diamond rank or your diamond rank if you can't do the 3 vital behaviors, if you can't run a challenge group effectively, if you can't get a time management system down? And that's not to like critique anyone on here and say, oh, you're bad, you're not doing that, you're going to fail. No. But it's key that you've got to do the essentials. You got to make your bed every day before you can jump to the next level and start trying to get too sexy and too innovative with what you do, right? So that's key. That's step 1. I've got some head nods, so hopefully this is a good thing. Or if it was like this, I'd be a little worried. So I'm looking at Kelly and Bridget. They're giving me lots of head nods, so that makes me feel good about things. So here's number 2. Plan your work and then work your plan. So as you guys are looking to set your goals for this year, I'm sure most of you have goals already. If you don't, use this call as a reason to get those goals set. We're in February. We're a month in. It's time to get those goals laid out before you just start hitting the grindstone, right? Here's the thing. We at Corporate Guys, we are guilty of just pushing you like full throttle all the time, right? We've got promotions this month. We got the size promotion pack. We got the cruise next month. You got to register for Punta Cana. Don't forget about Summit in like 4 months. Oh, there's Super Saturday. Make sure you're getting your teams there. Oh, hit SC, ATV, PSPV. Go for Elite. Go for Premier. Go, 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 go. Did anybody just get really tired and overwhelmed when I did that? Because I did. before you go and just start working and grinding, like all of you are so good at as leaders, and as you encourage your team to do so, take a step back and plan. Plan on a daily basis, plan on a weekly basis, whatever works for you, and get your team to do that same thing. So oftentimes, guys, we think that we just need to get out in front of everyone. We need to just outwork everybody, which you got to outwork everybody. But without a plan, it's not going to be effective. You're going to get burned out. And that's the last thing I want to see happen to coaches, is that they get burned out doing this, because it's fun. It's enjoyable. But if you don't have a plan in place, it's going to be just spinning your tires. You know what I mean? So plan your work before you work your plan. Specifically with talking about how to help your diamonds advance, how to help people get to diamond, plan out how they're going to get there. Okay. What I've seen is when coaches don't get to diamond, or again, I'm saying diamond, I mean all ranks, right? Emerald, ruby, star diamond, whatever it is. What I've seen, if they don't get there, if they have a tough time holding it, it's because of two things. One, they don't understand the how to hold it or how to get there. Like literally, how many coaches do I need? How many on each leg? What do their ranks need to be? The how, you know what I mean? Or they don't understand the why. Why do I need to hold my diamond rank? I mean, I did it. I got my shirt. I'm a lifetime diamond. Like, why do I need to hold this? Okay. And you've got to help them paint that picture of, how do I get there? How do I hold it? Why do I need to get there? Why do I need to hold it? Okay. And again, if you're wondering like, well, what are some tips to do that? I can get you top tips, but again, we got to start from the ground up here. If we don't have this established, we can't start developing those solutions. You know what I mean? So that's our second tip. Is this making sense? Is this clicking a little bit? Okay. I got some head nods. Christy hasn't thrown anything at the camera yet, so that's good. Thanks, Christy, for supporting me on this call. I appreciate that. Awesome. So here's your third tip. And I mentioned this on the last one. Outwork everybody. Now, I'm not saying you have to work more hours than everybody. I'm not saying that you have to do more than everyone, but be effective with what you're doing. Do the right activities. Oh, did that just highlight on its own, or did someone do that? Someone just highlighted for me, or did I do that? I didn't even touch my computer, so that's really cool. So I think my house is haunted. I don't know what's going on, but there you go. Outwork everybody, guys. What that means is be effective with what you're doing. If you only have an hour in the day, ask yourself, what am I doing within this hour to help my team solidify their diamond? What am I doing within this hour to do my 3 vital behaviors, which is now, as you heard on the National Wake Up Call, 4. Okay. But ask yourself, how can I outwork everybody, but do it smart and do it effectively? Okay. Number 4 tip. This is a huge one. Okay. If you're wondering, well, how do I get people to hold their rank or to get to a rank? And I don't know why this is highlighting like crazy. I seriously am not touching a thing. That's really kind of creepy, but what's that?
I keep seeing the highlighter on the bottom.
Let's do this. Hidden. All right. Well, we'll have to deal with the highlighter. Thanks, Bridget. This is a huge one, guys. Set expectations. Okay, your team can't read your mind. And Susan shared this. She had to go into these organizations and set expectations of, yeah, I'm a woman. She came out and basically just said, guess what? I'm a woman and I'm the president of these organizations. We're going to work together to get these results. And this is what needs to happen to get there. Like, she didn't let maybe that fear or that stereotype overcome what she wanted to accomplish in terms of her goals, but she had to set expectations with her team. So with your diamonds or with your emeralds or with your new coaches, set expectations. If it's expected they're on a monthly team call, like tell them it's expected, like non-negotiable, you're on this team call. Guess what? If you're on this team, it's expected that you're getting SC5 by the 15th. Whatever it is. And it's going to come across maybe a little brash and a little, oh, I don't want to be making people feel awkward or like they have to do stuff. No, you don't want to force them to. But frankly, guys, human nature, we like having a little direction. I love having direction from Jeff Hill. I love him saying, hey, we need to do this with the Northeast. Now go and innovate and do it, right? You've got to empower your leaders, not just set expectations and have them meet a quota, but you got to set expectations and help them see the vision of how they can get there. Does that make sense? Okay. And I really, really hope we don't get more highlighter stuff going here. Okay. Well, it's still going to be on the screen. My bad. Number 5, when you mess up, make it right. Pretty straightforward. As a leader, If you mess up, if you do something wrong, if maybe, I don't know, you're not seeing success yourself, make it right. Apologize, own it, be a leader, and lead out. Okay, that's pretty straightforward. I'm not going to expound on that. Next one kind of ties into it. Susan says, do the right thing even when nobody knows. Here's the thing, guys. As leaders, as you're pushing your coaches to go for diamond or to go for star diamond rank, that's good. It's a good, honorable activity, okay? Because you know how it can impact them, right? Both financially, both as a growth as a leader, both as recognition and as recognition too. But you've got to do it for the right reasons. If rank, recognition, payout, commissions, whatever, bonus, elite, you name it, leadership ladder, if that ever becomes our main focus and our main why of what we do as a coach, you will not be successful. Now, I'm not saying that those aren't honorable drivers, because they absolutely 100% are, because guess what? If I didn't have to make an income, as much as I like you guys, I would not be working at Beachbody. I would be hanging out with my family and just living the dream, right? Finances are a good driver. Recognition is a good driver, okay? But if you've got to keep people at the core of what you do. So do the right thing even when nobody knows, but even more so, do the right thing for the right reasons. Keep people as the core of your why, as your core driver. And guess what? Payout, commissions, rank recognition, that's all going to fall into place as a byproduct of focusing on the individual. Okay. So that's key, is you're helping people learn how to solidify their rank or encouraging them to go for it. Make sure you keep them first and you encourage them to keep people first. That's probably, that's one of the things I think works best for some of our top leaders. For those that, and I don't want to just keep referring to Melanie Mitchell, but as I've been in the region and learned more about her, she cares about people. She's not doing it. You can tell her I said that. She's nothing special. She's just, yeah, actually don't tell her I said that. But you know what I mean? I mean that in the way of, she's not anything different than you or I. She's just found a great way to do this, and she cares about people. Okay. And she focuses on that every day. Here's the last tip. And it looks like we found the culprit. Okay, Rachel wins the awesome highlighter award. Melissa will get that sent to you. I don't know what it is. Last one is have fun, guys. And I'm not going to expound that, but if you ever find yourself getting burned out or worn out or just tired of this coaching thing, turn off the computer, shut off the phone, reevaluate, find out how you can make it fun again, because it has to be, because it is fun. You're helping people change their lives and get healthy and hit goals. Like, what's more fulfilling than that? Okay, so that's the first thing, the leadership, the rules of leadership. That's how you can help kind of create a vision and set goals for yourself, as well as kind of track success. I'm not going to dig into these next sides. Oh, I forgot about the bonus rule. People make the difference. I already hit that. Okay, so I'm not going to cover that. The second thing I mentioned in terms of elevating your leadership and helping people solidify rank and grow, you've got to have a way to measure and track your success, right, guys? I know this is like, yeah, we've heard this. I know we got to track on doing. We have a couple things at corporate that we've set up to help you. Okay, you can use them if you like. They're helpful, so use them. There's Success Club. I know you guys know about that, so I'm not going to dig into that. There's something called Success Club Base, okay? Elite and Premier, and Leadership Ladder. Now, I'm not going to dig into Leadership Ladder because all of us, including myself, would just go. But it's super important to understand. It's actually a lot more simple than it comes across. So when you get a chance, I'm going to share an FAQ and a video link with you for your PD. Go and learn about it. It's a great way to really gauge the lifeblood of your business, okay? More so than a rank. The other one, SC Base, I'm going to cover that real quick. If anyone was at NLC with us, you heard this 1,000 times. This is probably one of the best KPIs or the best ways to measure your success at corporate. Like, we use it all the time with coaches. Basically, your SC Base, guys, is the number of personally sponsored coaches that you signed up either last year, so 2015, and or this year, 2016, who are in Success Club on a monthly basis. So you see the example there, and I'm going to use my girl Kelly, who's got an awesome lamp because we have almost the same one in our living room. Okay. Let's say Kelly has 2 personally sponsored coaches she brings in January or December last year, whatever. Okay. If they both hit Success Club in January, her SC Base is 2 people, right? You're probably like, oh yeah, great, Jeff, this is wonderful. What does that mean for me? Well, guess what that means for you? If you're helping 2 people hit Success Club every month, that means more volume being generated. That means more solidification of them as a leader and their growth, But in terms of like going for elite and premier, which I hope that's a goal for every person on this call, because I'll tell you this right now, there is no reason why every single person on this call or that listens to this call can't be elite. It seems like way out there and like, no way, I could never get there. Guess what, guys? It is right there. And it does take work and it takes a plan, but I know you guys know how to do that. And at the end of the year, if you push for it, you're probably going to be elite. And even if you don't hit it, you're probably going to be a lot further ahead than you would have had you not set that big, hairy, audacious goal. So SC base, what does that mean? How does that apply to elite? Basically, what we kind of encourage coaches that are going for elite is to be having a SC base of 4 every month. So helping 4 people hit Success Club. Okay. All right. I'm sure there might be some questions, so I'm going to pound out this last one, then we'll hit them, and then we'll call it good. This is just an example. You'll have the slide if you need to figure out how to calculate it, but we just ran through it, okay? There's the Elite Goal Guide. That's a great way to measure and track your success. You have your corporate contacts. If you don't understand this, we'll get you hooked up. We want to get you familiar with this. Again, don't let it overwhelm you. It's actually a lot more simple than it looks. The other way that you can track and measure your success is the Leadership Ladder. I'm actually going to – oh, it's not going to let me. Sorry. You'll have the presentation with this link, but there's a link of a video from Melanie, again, of her presenting on this training about 21 minutes into the call. She nails it. So simple, easy to understand, and why it's important. Okay, remember the how and why? She hits them both. So great personal development resource there. And then FAQ 9539. Okay, that'll help you understand that. So the last thing is this. And then I'm done yakking your ears off, I promise. That's what you get when you invite me on a call, Melissa. Okay, we're good. Okay, thumbs up from here. That's good. The third thing I mentioned was the importance of it. Well, sorry, let me jump through the Leadership Ladder stuff. But the importance of establishing your creed. Okay, this is your why. We talk about it. What's your why as a coach? What are your goals? Why are you doing this? This is your mantra. This is your mission statement. Okay, companies have mission statements or objectives. I call it your creed. You as leaders, before you can help your leaders grow and build a sustainable business and growth or whatever you're looking to push for, again, your goals are different. You've got to have a creed established both for yourself and, in my opinion, and I've never done this when I've done this training, but for your team as well, because I think that's important to have a team culture and a team creed or goal. So what I would encourage you guys tonight is a call to action, okay, is to establish a creed. Now in the team page, which I think Melissa's added me to, if not, you should add me to it because I'm doing a call to action. I'm going to follow up. I want you guys to post what your personal creed is. What is your why? Okay. And I'm going to share what an example of my creed looks like because I actually have one. Okay. But before I do that, I want to encourage you, get your own creed, but then figure out what is our creed as a team? What do we want to do? How do I help my leaders that are a diamond or are pushing to that or trying to hold it? What is their creed? Why are they doing that? It's huge. And your creed, it will do a couple things. One, when you're having those down out days, when everything's negative, nothing's going right, you don't feel like you're doing well as a leader, which guess what? You actually are. So give yourself some credit. Your creed will push you through those tough moments and it'll get you through when the trials and the adversity comes, right? The other cool thing though, what your creed does in the high times when you have a ton of momentum, when you're going and qualifying for these events and hitting Success Club or whatever it is, it's going to propel you even further and build even more momentum in those moments, okay? So get a creed. My creed is this. I'm going to share a quick story. Can I do that? Okay. So I grew up in a small town, Payson, Utah. Anybody know where that is? You don't. If you ever saw the movie Footloose, like back in the 80s, that was filmed in Payson. So tractors, farms, that's what we do. When I was in like 6th grade, guys, I had a friend, just an acquaintance at school. His name was Jeremy. We got talking one day just as kids, and we both found out we like to play tennis. Who knew? Farm kids like to do that. Doesn't make sense. We had like one tennis court in the entire town. It was at the park, and the net was just torn up. There was cigarette butts on the court, garbage, just not a good situation. The paint was coming off the cement and all that. We both had these really old rackets that I'm sure were just, bought at the surplus store for like a couple bucks. We found a tennis ball that my dog played with in its kennel. It was all slobbery and chewed up. And we wanted to go play because it was fun. Okay. And I want you to kind of compare this to you as a coach. Maybe you got into this because it was fun, or you just wanted to get in a group with some accountability, maybe lose some weight, right? Here's the thing. Jeremy and I started playing. We were horrible. We'd hit it over the fence. It'd go in the creek, and we'd have to chase it down the creek bed to get our only ball brought back. And, we were just not good. But we found ourselves doing a couple of things, guys. We found ourselves kind of coaching each other. We'd ask questions to my dad, who was actually the local high school sports coach, okay? So we asked him questions. He had this old VHS cassette tape of a German guy teaching you how to play tennis in like the 60s. It was really bad. But that was our personal development that we watched religiously. Like we'd have sleepovers and just watch this like 8 times. So we wanted to get good at this thing, right? At some point, our hobby became a passion. I don't know when it was exactly, but that passion became, we want to be successful. We want to bring some pride to our town, because everybody kind of mocked us when I go to my dad's sports games, basketball, football, that they'd make fun of our school and our town. Like, we're going to bring some pride. We want to win a state title. That's our goal. And that's when we became passionate. We had a goal. We laid out a plan of, we got to work. We got to play 3 hours a day in the summer and just figure out how to do this without the proper equipment, without the proper knowledge. Fast forward a bunch of years, guys, we play varsity as freshmen, which is a 9th grader playing, seniors, and we were beating them. Okay. And they would make fun of us when we'd go on the road and play them. And we were in mismatched uniforms. We just had gym shorts and an old t-shirt, no equipment. And they had their personal coaches there coaching them from the sidelines. And we just wiped the floor with them. It was awesome. Here's the thing though. We got pretty good. Senior year, we're undefeated. We're ranked number 1 in the entire state of Utah. We're pretty confident. We've got fans that come and watch us. Who watches tennis at high school like no one does? We had fans. That was cool. We got pretty arrogant. Okay. And we got away from what we knew how to do, what we did best, our plan. We started trying to hit all these fancy shots and trying to overpower the other team, when our strategy the whole time was just to keep the ball in play and just softly hit it, make them make a mistake. Here's the thing. In tennis, so we're losing in this match midway through, and in tennis you can do what's called a net change. Meaning at net change, you can talk to your coach and get some advice and get coached. Fortunately for us, our coach was my dad. Pretty awesome. So I look up at the bleachers, and as we're losing, I'm like, crap, we're going to lose our scholarship offers. The scouts are not going to be watching us from these colleges. We're going to lose our ranking. We're going to not hit our goal, right? So we walk over to the fence to talk to coach, and I'm expecting this like Hoosiers type speech. Like, we're going to summon all the mighty tennis gods to come down and like help us come back, and everyone's going to go crazy and carry us up on our shoulders kind of speech. And he said 2 words at the time made me so mad and so confused. But I'll tell you what, through that match and then all through my entire life, what is that now, 12, 13 years later, it has been my creed. And it has seen me through the low times and the high times. It's helped me as I push for career goals, marital goals, like, I don't know, you name it. He looked at us both, and while I'm expecting this huge speech, he said these 2 words, okay? He looked at us and said, just win. And I looked at Jeremy, I looked back at coach, I said, that's all you got? And I'm like, really? And he said, just win. He turned around, walked right back up those bleachers. And I wish I could do the full effect, but he folds his arms like this and just watches and waits. I was so mad at coach, guys. I didn't know what to do. I'm like, just win? Like, what? But as we started playing, as I started just having those 2 words on my mind and coach just haunting me, I realized we got to get back to basics. We got to get back to what works for us. We got to just do what we do best and not try to do what everyone else is doing. And we came back and won. Long story short, state tournament, we're the number 1 seed. We get beaten the very first round by the lowest seeded team in the entire state. We don't get scholarship offers. We don't win a state title. We don't bring the banner home to restore pride to our town. But you know what? We actually did. We brought a little bit of pride. We brought some excitement, but more so that creed, those 2 words that I learned through that whole journey, okay, that was way more fulfilling and way more just rewarding than any sort of trophy, title, recognition, payout, scholarship could have ever been. And that's been my creed my whole life. So what I want to encourage you guys to do, figure out your creed, because it will make a huge difference in terms of leadership and in terms of helping your leaders grow and become empowered as well. If you can't think of a creed, use this one. I don't care. You can totally use it. It's a good one. But that's how you elevate your leadership, guys, okay? Set your goals, track your success, establish your creed, and let's go do it. Gina's laughing her butt off, okay?
Thank you so much. And I really appreciate I love that. Your creed is short and easy to remember, and I think all of us will remember it also. And it's funny because you might have been ridiculed out doing your tennis thing when everybody else wasn't and when nobody thought you could do it. But that's what people do to us as coaches too. Sometimes they ridicule us. They say we're a cult. They tease us about our being the shake lady or whatever. But at the end of the day, when your heart is true and your integrity is there and your passion is there, it doesn't matter what anybody else thinks. When you have your why to go back to, you just keep on going no matter how hard it gets. And so thank you for talking about that with us. Does anybody have any questions at all for Jeff? Anybody?
There are no bad questions. And I'm so sorry I talked your ears off all night, guys. Usually I try to get more combo, but got on a soapbox.
No, it was good. It was good. Anything? Anybody?
I like this team.
What do you tell yourself on your bad days other than just win?
That's what do I tell myself? Because or whether it's a bad day or a stressful day, I say, you know what, tomorrow's another day and I'm going to get better than I was today. That's kind of my thing is, you know what, if I didn't meet my expectations, I didn't just win as much as I could have today. Tomorrow I'm going to do better. And the next day I'm just going to get better and better. Because you'll have those days, guys, that you doubt yourself and that go worse than others, but just pace yourself. Okay. Remember, you're doing this coaching thing and being a leader for the long term. And so you got to keep that long-term perspective. That's kind of what I try to do.
And it all goes back to that why. You just keep
Right.
looking at that why. And that drives me. Because I've told you guys many times that I've wanted to quit. It's been 4 years in March, and I've wanted to quit many times because it gets hard, especially in the beginning, when the checks might not be there yet or whatever. Or your team's not, full of coaches and one person quitting could throw everything off. It gets hard, but you just keep going. Because if you give up now, 1 year from now, where will you be if you give up? Or 1 year from now, where will you be if you don't? It's huge when you think about it like that. Anybody else?
Good question.
It was a good one.
Yeah, 10 points for Kristen. Good question. I don't know what those points are good for, but you can redeem them somewhere.
Some hair ties, even though I think that these are for Christy. I think these are Christy's. These are coming in the mail.
There you go. There you go.
Prizes for questions. Anybody else?
And two, if you can't, it looks like there are some. I think Corinne may have one.
Yeah.
Hi. Did I unmute myself?
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. I guess I have the ultimate question. I'm always interested in everybody's input. What would be, no pressure.
No
what
pressure.
Would be your best advice on recruiting new coaches who are going to be interested in the business? And what would be your advice on presenting that, the best way to present that?
Okay. You're going to hate me for this. You're like, I've heard that.
Answer.
Right. Obviously, there's the answer to be consistent. It's so powerful. It really is.
Right.
What I would say is this, though. What I've seen is a block for a lot of coaches with recruiting or even the word inviting. Guys, it's not like normal. It's not really comfortable. It's not a fun thing to do. I mean, at leadership or NLC 2 weeks ago, Melanie Mitchell even said, inviting is still so hard for me. It is still so awkward for me. And so I think acknowledging and embracing that it's a hard thing first is a good thing. But what I would do is this. If you have any sort of block with recruiting or inviting, do this. I know a lot of you have a piece of paper. I want you to write recruiting on the paper right now, or recruit or whatever. You can write it in French or Spanish too. I don't care. Write recruit. And then what I want you to do is take your pen and write a big X through it. Yes, this is coming from the corporate guy. I want you to replace that thinking of recruiting. I think what I've seen work really well with coaches, and it may work for you or it may not, is to replace that word recruiting with this: build relationships of trust. Okay. Don't feel like you have to go recruit a new coach a day. If you do, you're going to be the top coach. That's what Melanie did. She averaged one new coach a day last year. And I'm not just referring to Melanie the whole time, but again, it's kind of a standard, right? But build relationships of trust. Again, ask yourself, what am I doing today to build relationships of trust? Most likely, guys, you're not going to find people that just want to jump right into a challenge group or jump right into coaching like that. You'll find some, trust me, because people are ready for it and their life situation changes. But every day, what am I doing to build relationships of trust? Okay. Network, just communicate, build a list of people you haven't talked to in a while and just talk to them. How are you doing? How's your family? I haven't seen you since college. I don't know. It takes time. Okay. But boy, as you build those relationships of trust and you do it for the right reason, okay, focusing on them and not just your own gain or the team gain, you're going to have people coming around. You will, because they're going to see what you're doing. And when you're consistent with your posts and your workouts and all that, they're going to be like, wow, as we've been talking, I've been seeing what you've been doing. Like, I want to be a part of that. Or they're going to know somebody and you're going to become that resident expert in health and fitness that they'll start telling their friends about that. Well, you want to get healthy? Well, I know Kareen is doing this. Let me get you in contact with her, right? That would be the biggest thing, Kareen. I mean, we could talk all night on that, but set a goal today. What am I doing to build relationships of trust? What am I doing to just have conversations? Get yourself out there.
Right.
And I know that sounds really basic and it's not like really definitive, like I need to do this. But if you can flip that switch, it'll help.
I appreciate that. And I feel, I have to say, I feel pretty confident that I do that. That
Good.
would, if I had to list my top strength, that would probably be it. Sometimes, like now after 3 years in the business, it just gets frustrating that like my patience wears out. It's like, okay, I feel like I'm always the nice guy and still like maybe I'm not forward enough. I'm not blunt
Right.
enough. My recruiting, so to speak, or, presenting the business opportunity. And that's definitely a weakness of mine. So,
and something maybe you could do, and I had to do this, I was living over in Europe for a few years and I had to do some things where you had to approach people and have some conversation starters and things like that. This sounds really elementary, but I would write down a couple examples of things I could say, a script, right? And I know that sounds so simple, but get those scripts down. So when you get in a moment where they ask you about what you're doing, that you have a good invite, a good, encouragement to learn more about what you do or to join this challenge group.
right.
Hone your craft, right? Because sometimes we're like, well, yeah, I've got this group that we put together and we work out together and we hold each other accountable. If you ever want to do it, just let me know. That's the natural tendency. But if you say, oh yeah, this is what we do. We run a clean eating group every single month and it's great. We have so many motivating ladies in there and guys that are just working together to get healthy. I'd love to have you be a part of it. Where can I send the info to?
Right.
That, and that's not perfect either. Again, I could hone that and craft it, but take some of your personal development time to maybe hone those and craft them a bit. Maybe that's helpful. I don't know, but
Yeah, no, it is. It's definitely something that I could work on for sure. Thank you so much.
Me too. No, you're welcome.
No, I think that's great because I think a lot of us, if you're ever interested, just let me know. And then we're like, oh, we did an invite. And it's not necessary. And that's the other thing too, calling it an invite. We don't really do that. I changed it a long time ago to connect, because the word invite scare people. They're like, I don't have anything to invite to. And okay, so then just connect with people, build some relationships with people, and then they'll start, like exactly like you said, they'll start to see what you're doing and they'll be interested.
And one thing, and I guess I'll kind of close with this. As you're inviting or recruiting guys, walk with swagger. Have some confidence that you have some value to offer, because you do. Okay. You offer a solution to one of the biggest problems out there, and that's health. Okay. You offer accountability. You offer friendships and relationships with, I don't care if you're the least sociable person. Everybody likes having a friend or having people they can connect with. Okay. But kind of have that confidence, that walk with swagger. That's what I say, right? Because when you do, people will see that. You'll be confident in yourself and just believe that you have something valuable to offer others, because you do. And that's coming from the weird corporate guy in Utah.
Muted.
Oh,
We
sorry.
have one question from Emily.
Yes, Emma.
Hi. You kind of, I don't know, I guess touched on it just now, but how do you, I find it difficult to talk about the opportunity when I'm not where I want to be yet myself. And I mean like the business part of it. So like I see it can happen and I know it will for me, but like how do I express that to everyone else for them to believe that they can do it too, you know?
Good question. I wish I had a silver bullet for it. Use the stories of others, in all honesty. But that can be hard for people to connect to, right? That, well, I don't know, Melissa Hadley. I don't know Candace Talbot, but I know you, Emma, right? Share with them that, hey, I'm just starting. I'm just starting out. I'm learning too, but this is what I've seen so far, and I'm excited to see where this can go, right? And so that's what I would say is share the experiences of others, share what you've already experienced so far, because guess what? That is motivating in itself. Even if you're like, oh man, I haven't got these huge checks, or I haven't seen this huge health transformation. Guess what? You're so far ahead of where the majority of the population of the world is in terms of getting healthy. They're going to see you as an expert, right? And frankly, it comes down to just continuing to do it. The beautiful thing about Beachbody is that it takes time and it takes work. The same thing that sucks about being a Beachbody coach is that it takes time and it takes work. But if you can stay true to the process, it will come.
Emily, you are successful.
Yeah.
So I think that's a change in your mindset. Just you are successful, and it's going back to his point of walking with some swagger. Like we all started at the same spot with one of us. That's it. So when people were coming to me and asking me about the business, I was in it up to my ankles. Now I'm up to it over my head. But I started somewhere, I walked in and started exactly where you started. And so I really just want you to have the confidence to know that you are a successful coach. And once you believe that, you'll portray that. You know what I mean? Everybody's definition of success is different. You know what I mean?
I think I'm like, I love having a team and like leading them and helping them and coaching them. And I just feel like I want obviously a larger team. I just don't know how to go to someone new to kind of express, or show them like how amazing it is. Do you know what I mean? Like it's hard to kind of get new people to see or experience it when they're not in it, and I'm not really fully where I want to be. I guess, I don't know.
No, it makes total sense. And here's the thing. I think it's leadership. What you're going through, you're figuring out how to be a leader. And it's not easy. It's hard. But you're figuring out, how do I get better at this? How do I get to my goals and really see more success than I am now? Like, you're not content. You're not complacent. And I love that. Okay. Now, is there a perfect solution for it? No. But rather than keep going, but make a plan of what you're going to do to keep going. You know what I mean? Like, I don't think you're doing necessarily anything wrong, and you got to stay true to the whole time thing, because we can't control that. Control the controllable, influence the rest. That's what I always say. And you can influence things. You can influence what you're doing each day. You can influence people, okay, by what you're putting out there. You can make your posts. You can talk to people, build relationships of trust. You can't control what they do or say, right? But with time, they'll come around. But I know that's kind of a long-winded around the bush answer, but hopefully that helps a little bit.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Good question. If I think of anything else, I'll message you.
Okay.
All right. If nobody has anything else, we've taken up a lot of your evening. Thank you. You rock too, Jeff.
No, I appreciate you guys. Thanks for, again, taking time away from your families and just wanting to get better. I mean, we appreciate it. We know it's not hard, but I'll tell you what, guys, it's so stinking worth it.
Yeah, definitely.
Really worth it. And if you have questions, or if you're like, I wish I would ask this, or can you help me with this or whatever, just message me anytime. So appreciate you guys.
Thank you. Have a good night, everybody.
Bye.
See ya.